Welcome back, fellow Dream Warriors, to Riderpiece Theater! Me, Alistair Dayhawk, and tonight, me proud to present Kamen Rider Zeztz, episode 45. If once again you hear a fan in the background, please forgive me. It'd be hot in here in the office, so yeah, bear with me. And yeah, I think that is it. So episode 45, this is like the continuation of what happened last week, even though last week it was a recap episode. You saw Oblivion destroying Nem's memories, and you have the crazy mama creating the Nem utopia that she wanted to create for her. And in this episode, we are living the Nem utopia. But then shit is starting to crack, and the utopia is starting to lose its magic. So let us begin with the crazy lady sitting on the throne. Looks like she's drinking some wine or apple cider or whatever that is. I assume it's wine. And the crazy lady is narrating what happened last week. And then we see Nem waking up. She is still dressed in all white, and she is running around an empty city. Then, as she continues to run, she stumbled upon one of her posters, and it reads, "Recall the Dream." Now, that those words, "Recall the Dream," it looks like it isn't part of the poster. The way, the words are like across Nem's face. So I assume someone has wrote it there for Nem to read. And then all of a sudden she wakes up in her room. So this episode, I have to say, is a bit confusing because you assume that, we're still in a dream world. Remember, her body, Nem, is still, somewhere in the real world. But it's a dream within an illusion dream, if it makes any sense. So I assume, with Nem in white, it's actually the dream world, and her waking up into her room, I assume it's the Nem utopia that the crazy mama created for her. So like I said, she wakes up from in her bed, and she goes into the kitchen and sees the crazy mama with breakfast with that happy music in the background. Like, I don't know which is weird. Seeing the crazy mama be all genuinely happy, or the music in the background. Either way, both are creepy. But I have to say, the music is a nice touch. It's just telling us, the audience, it's like, hey, everybody's happy. Nothing to see here. This is the Nem utopia. Everything's happy. Be happy, okay? Don't be grouchy. Don't be grouchy. Eat chilies. After the opening credits, you see the crazy lady and Nem having breakfast together. And Nem is telling the crazy mama that, hey, she got a lead role in this movie called the Space Girl Sheriff Gavin movie thing. So a nod to Sheriff Gavin, right? Project Red, Metal Heroes. It's just a nod there. And then we quickly go to the next scene where Nem meets her manager, Minami. So Minami in this dream utopia is Nem's manager, and she takes Nem to the Toei studios, and as they drove off, you see a quick scene with the crazy lady, the crazy mama, and she talks to herself. She says, "With enough belief, your dreams can come true. The dream itself becomes truth." Yeah, she is speaking in riddles, and yeah. So we go to the next scene. Minami and Nem arrive at the Toei studios, where they meet the crew, and of course Mulder and Scully, who are now playing the role of the TMPD, whatever that is. But they're still they're still cops, but under a different department or field. It's like the NYPD. This is the TMPD. And even though their memories are wiped out, their attitudes towards each other doesn't change at all. You see them just, making mini fights with each other. At least Mulder doesn't dress like a homeless man, and he asks Nem for an autograph, and you see him, with I don't know what's it called, but it's not a piece of paper or anything, but it's just this, looks like a block of paper, and he took out his marker, and then you see a mini fight between him and Scully being like, hey, like, you can't do this, we're in the middle of work. And of course Mulder says no, it's all right, and they have that mini fight. And I have to say, Mulder has some sick reflexes. Reminds me of Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire and that that cafeteria scene. Reminds me of that. And at the end, Minami grabs the paper and the marker that falls in the book or whatever that she was holding, and she was like, hey, don't worry about it, Nem will take care of it, it's fine, let me handle it, since I am her manager, she said. So we go to a quick scene. You see Nem shooting the fighting scene with the stunt people, and then after the scene was done, all of a sudden the stunt team disappears, and everybody in the crew, Mulder and Scully, Minami, was like, what the hell? Where did they go? And Nem was like, what? Did I kill them or something? Like, where did they go? They just disappeared. We go to the next scene. Nem is talking to her crazy mama about what happened during set. And this causes the crazy mama to be like, oh shit, this is not what is supposed to happen. I'm like, it shouldn't be this way. Instead of reassuring her that, oh, don't worry about it, everything's gonna be fine, the police will get into the bottom of this, you did nothing wrong, all these positive things she could have said, but instead she said, hey, Nem, my beautiful daughter, it's time for you to go to bed. And Nem was like, huh? That's it? You want me to go to bed? Yeah, I know. Nem, I had the same reaction as you did. I'm like, really, crazy mama? Like, you could have just I'm sure everything is fine. I wouldn't worry about it too much. The police will handle it. It's crazy, but I wouldn't worry about it too much, okay? You didn't do anything wrong. Something above those lines, but crazy lady was like, go to bed, sweetheart. Tomorrow is a brand new day. and Nem was like, okay. So crazy mama takes her to her bedroom, and she sleeps. She gets out, and we have this creepy scene with all the walls and doors turning all bloody, and the crazy lady knows that her utopia that she created for her daughter is about to fall apart, and she knows who is behind all of this. And chances are you and I, especially if you've seen the episode, knows who it is. So we go to the next scene. As Nem is sleeping, you see, Nem still dressed in white. And apparently she is looking for someone. Who, why, I have no idea. But she's looking for someone. And it leads her to the room where she first met Baku in the pilot episode. If you remember, Nem was dressed in all red. And we had the introduction of Baku being the super cool agent, and he was fighting against an army of gangsters in order to save Nem. all of a sudden she is approached by this shadowy figure, and she runs off. And then she runs through the hallway of doors. She goes inside her room, and she ends up getting trapped. And then she is getting approached by the shadowy figure, saying that, oh, at last I found you. And you have a scene where his shadow was trying to get Nem, and she ends up screaming, and then she wakes up from a nightmare. And then we go to the next scene where once again she is having breakfast with the crazy mama, and she doesn't want to eat because the nightmare affected her, pretty badly, and she just doesn't want to eat. And crazy mama asks, like, hey, what's wrong, my beautiful daughter? You look sad, and you shouldn't be sad because today is your birthday, my dear. So tell me, what happened to you? Oh, mama, I had a nightmare. Once again, crazy mama, instead of, asking her daughter, what was your bad dream about? You want to talk about it? And nothing like that. She just says, I don't want you to look sad or feel bad or anything because today is your special day. Today is your birthday, okay? So no sad, gloomy faces ever, okay? Especially on your birthday. And I hired a bodyguard to make sure everything will go swell. And so we quickly go to the next scene, and guess who she called to become Nem's bodyguard? Otaka, aka Nox. And his last, emo, and he's just, at least he's not emo in this episode because he lost his memories. But, he's like that metal tone type of guy, and so whatever. I'm just gonna start ranting, so nah. So crazy mama has hired Otaka, aka Nox, to accompany her and throughout the day to make sure everything's okay and whatnot. And Minami, the manager, is still there. So yes, so they take her to a spot where they're hosting Nem's birthday party show. So we go to the next scene, and you see her dressed up as Mitan from Kamen Rider Build. So there's a lot of Easter eggs and just and references, but mostly references. I think Easter eggs and references are the same thing for me. So the one Easter egg is Sheriff Gavin, and this current one with Nem dressed up as Mitan, that's from Kamen Rider Build. So it's nice to get a reference of one of my favorite seasons. And so Nem greets her audience, and then she starts to sing her first song. And just like what happened in the set of Toei Studios, her audience disappears. Nem was like, what the hell happened? And Nox thinks that it's something to do with the supernatural. And this is where Nem tells Nox and Minami that I think this is connected to my nightmare I had last night. And Nox was like, no, I don't think this is it. I mean, like, supernatural things, it's not real. Like, your dream, it shouldn't be connected. Like, it's just a dream, Nem. It's just a dream. And then she starts to hear things. She starts to hear a voice saying that at last I found you. And then she turns around and discovers it was Oblivion. And then Oblivion just decided that, hey, it's time to destroy this stupid, silly dream. So he does his magic. Oblivion, Nox, Nem, and Minami get transported to this rocky construction site. And this is where Oblivion spills the beans that Nem's utopia world is nothing more than an illusion. This causes the crazy phantom to show up, and she's pissed off as to why are you interfering? You should not have come here. Why are you here? Apparently, this is a twist. Apparently, Crazy Mama / Phantom has screwed over Oblivion. Because according to Oblivion, he had a deal between him and the Phantom. In exchange for erasing everybody from Nem's mind, he wants to fuse with Nem. And you see this flashback scene. Oblivion is explaining himself, and then we cut to this new scene where Oblivion is sitting on his throne and sees Crazy Mama and Nem together. And this is where Oblivion tells the fake Nem to come here, and you see Oblivion's body opening up, and the fake Nem going inside him, indicating that both Nem and Oblivion has successfully fused together. But Oblivion in current time says that you bitch, you betrayed me, you gave me a fake Nem, now I'm here to ruin everything for you because you betrayed me. So yeah, I mean, Phantom really screwed up because Oblivion, he may be goofy and childlike, but he ain't stupid. So that's why all the disappearances from the set to the show, it was all Oblivion's doing. And so Oblivion traps the crazy Phantom and, once again pulls the wool off of Nem's eyes and tell her that, hey, this monster, this woman she calls herself a mom, created this world of illusions for you. Everything you have experienced for the past 2 days were all fake. And then you have Nox and Minimi trying to run away with Nem. Unfortunately, they also get trapped too. And this is where Oblivion has Nem deep in his tracks and be like, come Nem, let us fuse together. And he opens himself up. Everything turns into darkness. Nem becomes like she's in a trance, and she slowly is walking towards Oblivion. But lo and behold, in the nick of time, her hero Baku, aka Extreme Zeztz, shows up in the nick of time and comes in between Nem and Oblivion. And Baku tells Nem to recall the dream. So it was him all along. He was the one who sent in the message to Nem in the beginning of the episode to recall the dream. And so we immediately go to Baku versus Oblivion. And as they fight, you see that every time Baku connects with his kicks and his punches to Oblivion, you see bubbles appearing off of Oblivion. And these bubbles contain Nem's memories. And so, for every hit, new bubbles gets released. And you see Nem looking at the bubbles, and she is absorbing the bubbles. And she is absorbing them until, she remembers everything. And during, the fight between Oblivion and Baku, and as Nem is absorbing her memories back, you see the crazy lady, the crazy mama, still tied up, right? But she is witnessing her daughter absorbing her memories, and she has that sad, disappointing look on her face, like, shit. No, she's just sad because even though her heart was in the right place in terms of wanting her daughter to be happy, the way she did it was not right at all. And Oblivion had to ruin everything. But I just think that either way, without Oblivion's interference, I still think that her utopia would have been, there still be like cracks in her utopia world, whether it be, Oblivion or Baku, because Baku is the only one that remembers everything. He was unaffected by, the Oblivion curse. So I don't know how he maintained his memories, unlike people like Minami, Nox, Mulder, and Scully. Just saying. So, Crazy Mama has that sad look on her face that, Nem is once again returning to that life. And you see Baku fighting Oblivion using the sword, which when I saw he was using the sword again, guys, I was like, where have you been? Tove is like, hey, we need to bring back, Zeztz sword so we can make quick sales, and we are 5 episodes away until the finale, so we need to have some final sales of this merch. I'm like, when is the last time, guys? Just a little bit of a sidebar here, guys. When was the last time that Baku ever used his old forms from the Visions arc to now? When is the last time he ever used his saber, his gun, the scythe, the cool badass scythe? When is the last time he ever used those weapons? Hardly ever. When is the last time he used the flash form? When is the last time he used the his blue outfit? When is the last time he used the wings? Like, when is the last time he used the barrier and recovery and all those old capsims? He never used them ever again. And that's been the formula in every single Kamen Rider. Because once you obtain the mega form, the final form, all the other forms from before, except for the ultimate, they become obsolete. They become obsolete until the final episode to remind the audience, hey, do you remember these forms? Do you remember these weapons? You're gonna see them for one last time. Like, So, Oblivion escapes, and now everybody is freed, and then it's the Crazy Phantom's turn to attack Baku for whatever reason. And she was like, oh, you shouldn't be here. This is Nem's utopia. How dare you? I'm like, crazy lady, Oblivion destroyed your plans, okay? If you haven't screwed him over, I'm on Oblivion's side on this one. If you haven't screwed over Oblivion, none of this would have happened, okay? None of this would have happened. Oh, crazy lady. You're pointing the finger to the wrong person. You need to point the finger at yourself, you crazy bitch. Jesus. Like, she ends up fighting Baku as if he was responsible, and you're not supposed to be here. I'm like, no. No, it's your own fault, okay? It's your own fault. So we have a mini fight between the Phantom and Baku, and it looked like Baku won, but no, according to the Phantom, she is the most powerful one here because, her powers of illusions is up top tier. So instead of, continuing to fight her, Baku has decided to take Nem and escape with her. And so he created a door, and they both escape, and then we quickly go to the final scene of the episode where they landed themselves in the spy office, and this is where Nem thanks Baku for, saving her life and for returning her memories back. And Baku says, did you remember what I told you last week? That I will save you. And he did. And then Nem asked what everybody wants to ask if we were in Nem's position, right? Is how did you pull it off? How did you maintain your identity, your memories, unlike, Nox and Mulder and Scully and the others? how did you pull it off? But instead of answering Nem's question, Baku says, "Good morning, Nem," which we immediately go to the final scene of the episode where Nem wakes up and sees normal Baku in his normal civilian attire, and Baku says, "I found you," in English. And that's how the episode ends, guys. We have a lot of questions here, guys. Like, how did Baku manage to pull it off? And I think the clue, the answer, is Baku's driver. I mean, extreme, like the captain and the driver that he created is too OP. So why would the camera pan to the captain and the driver unless the cameraman is trying to give us like the answer that it was the power of the captain and the driver that Baku managed to maintain his identity and memories, and that's how he was able to infiltrate the Nem's utopia and save her from fusing oblivion and all that stuff. I think that's the only explanation. I just hope by next week's episode, Baku will provide us with the answers of how he did it, and of course, how in the hell did he manage to find Nem's body. So yes, after 45 episodes, Nem has finally woken up in the real world. So she has, returned. So how is the return of Nem in the real world will affect the last remaining 5 episodes? I don't know, but we have 5 episodes to find out. But yeah, a nice episode devoted to Nem, and yeah, it's a good episode. So yeah, I think that is it, guys. I mean, that's all I can really say. I mean, the crazy lady being happy, and you can tell that she was getting all sad that Nem is, gonna return back to, she's not gonna be safe anymore. But again, the crazy mama is trying to protect her in her own way, but the way she is doing things, it's bad. And you can't use code as an excuse to say, I want to protect you. I'm like, protect her from what? With code gone, like who else is after her? And I'm sure now it's Oblivion, because Oblivion wants to fuse with her, but outside of Oblivion, who else? Who else is this excuse that she can use to tell Nem, the reason I'm doing this is because to protect you. From what? Oblivion. Okay. Who else? Code. Code is gone. Oblivion? Yeah. Yeah. So, I think that is it. I mean, I can't really think of anything else. It's just, yeah, I think that's it, guys. Give me your thoughts and opinions about this episode. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? I have my notes in front of me, even though, I have wrote them. I may have missed a couple of things here and there. You never know. Did you like the references that they did with Sheriff Gavin and the reference to Kamen Rider Build? Did you like that? Do you like the music in the background when Nem and Crazy Mama were having the first breakfast together? I thought it was pretty funny and just like, hey, nothing to see here. Everything is real. Everybody's happy. And yeah, give a like if you like it, and please subscribe. And yeah, guys, 5 episodes left. 5 episodes left. I mean, a lot of people have mixed feelings about this season altogether. A group of people like it, and another group don't like it at all. And when I saw, the trailer for Maisu, I don't know. Maybe I hope to God it's not going to be one of those seasons where We had a good season, and then now heading into the new season, it's turn to, you know, drop the ball. But hopefully not. But now I'm starting to ramble, guys, so I have to go. So once again, give a like if you like it, and please subscribe, and I will see you all on the other side of Oblivion. Johnny!